Welcome to Gigantica. It's always nice to say hello with an infinity in your hand. We've moved on here to show you loads more tackle and tactics, and this is open water boilie fishing for most of us. So the sort of fishing a lot of people do in the UK, exactly the same style. We're casting from the bank. We are taking bait out with the rowing boat to make it easier, but we're still using a throwing stick, still using a spod to top the swim up. All the rigs we're using are stuff that you can apply to your own fishing in the UK and in mainland Europe, and that's very, very important. The sort of fishing we're doing here is the sort of fishing you would experience in Belgium, Holland, Germany, all those sort of countries, Italy. Open water boilie fishing. So I'm going to concentrate on this one because it's getting a little bit closer in now, and then we're going to get on with all those tackle and tactics. Good fish. Here's a good fish. Get in the net. Yes, come on! That is a proper big one. What a way to start our Gigantica trip. 53.5 pounds. This is a fish called discus. Caught this one this time last year at 44 pounds, nearly 10 pounds up. Unbelievable. He obviously loves his mainline boilies. Let's get on with that tackle. One of the lake's real characters, this one, half a tail common, just over 36 pounds, taken on a size 4 captor, almost on the drop, literally within seconds of it hitting the bottom. Wicked. And what a stunner this is, an absolutely gorgeous 27 pounder from Gigantica, taken on 12 pound contour, fished on the 12-foot 3 3/4 infinities at about 110 yards. And getting the main line dead right for the fishing you're doing is so important. It can make the job a nightmare or make it really easy. I think we're going to have to name this one the wood carving, one absolutely stunning Gigantica mirror, all 32 pounds of it. What a stunning fish, 40 pounds and 4 ounces, taken on the mouth trap combi link. It just shows you it's not just for choddies.
Here he is, beautiful 34.5 pounder from Gigantica in France, caught on a lead clip setup with that all important dark matter rig tubing behind. And another one from the long spot, again using the dark matter. Like I said, we'd cut, taking some line. I've cut the dark matter tubing right down so I can get the distance I want to, and it really seems to be working at the moment. Let's just hope we can get this in and show you what it looks like.
Would you like me to net him, sir?
Please don't.
Very good, sir. Very good, sir.
Oh, God.
He's nailed. Got him.
Not happy at all.
You the man.
How about that? An immaculate little 22 pound crazy little mirror carp, caught using both of the new dark matter products, a foot length of the tubing right behind the lead, and a nice little dob of putty right on the hook link just to make sure everything's pinned down around the rig area. Beautiful. Oh, check him out. 33.5 pound, absolutely immaculate mirror carp. Caught using my new 3 3/4 infinities and not my normal 3 1/4s. The 3 3/4s made it possible to get out that far, yet still really forgiving under the tip for the fight. Really enjoyed it. Brilliant.
Well, good morning. It's an absolutely glorious morning at Gigantica. The fish have been showing all over me since it got light, and it really was only a question of time before I got a bite. And this is an ideal opportunity to show you the 3 3/4 Infinity DF going through its paces. The Infinities have been out a year now, and the 3 1/4 is without doubt the most popular one, but personally, if I had to fish with just one rod, it would be this one, because it can put the rig out with 10-pound adrenaline and a tapered Daiwa leader. It will put the rig out 140, 150 yards if you're a good caster, maybe even more. But you can still fish with it under your feet if you want, as long as you're careful. I've fished with very light leads at Wellington Country Park, fishing 15, 20 yards out, and caught very big fish in weedy conditions, and had absolutely no problems with them at all. As long as you do what I'm doing now and just keep the rod nice and high and let the rod do the work, you should have no problems. I'm just going to lead this fish in just carefully. What tends to happen in this particular swim is the fish kite right if you put too much pressure on them, and if you can just lead them in nice and carefully and try and keep them out in front of you and then away from danger. There's 3 in the Infinity DF range, all built exactly the same. So there's a 2 3/4, which is brilliant for fishing the smaller waters with smaller hooks and lighter lines, and I've used that on the underwater filming before. The 3 1/4 is obviously the best all-rounder, and I use that one for when I'm fishing sort of up to 100 yards with pinpoint accuracy. I'm using 12-pound contour fluorocarbon all the time pretty much. And then if I know I'm going to be fishing at long range all the time, then I move over to this beast here, the 3 3/4. But all 3 have got the lovely matte finish on them. 50mm butt rings, super slim handle, and just very minute detailing to make them look as custom built as possible. And they've been very well received by the public. So if money is no object for you and you want the absolute best rod you can possibly use, get on the Infinities. Come on. Ooh, got him! Excellent. Another one tamed on the Infinities. Wicked. What a brute of a fish. This one's called Bottom Lobe, 46.6 this time. I caught him, I think 4 years ago at 35 pounds, so he's whacking the weight on as well. Taken at 110 yards using the 12-pound contour and that all-important 3 3/4 Infinity. Wicked. Well, we are into another extremely hard fighting Gigantica carp. Trying to get under the trees again. Oh, he's quite a good fish actually. Really powerful. This one's taken on a 20-pound IQ2 hook link, straight through to the hook with a soft hair tied on the bend of the hook. Classic sort of hair rig fishing. The rig we all used to use and have sort of forgotten about. And when you're boilie fishing like this, and just using bottom baits, it is extremely effective and catches hold really quickly. So I'm going to get this fella in and then we're going to show you how to tie it, or maybe I'm not going to get it in. He's off again. come on. Get in the net. Get in the net, come on. Get in the net. Yes, got him! Come on, wicked. Another fish on the infinities. What a chunk of a carp, 34¼ pounds. Well chuffed to get this one. He's proper angry as well. I don't think he gets caught very much. So as luck was have it, we've got no battery for the camera, so I've got to put him back in the retainer sling just for 10 minutes while we get the battery, and we'll get some nice shots of him and get him back. Well chuffed. An absolutely stunning Gigantica common, 32½ pounds this one, taken last night on that IQ stiff rig with the hair tied on the bend of the hook. He was absolutely nailed.
How about that for an immaculate common? 26½ pounds. Again to the long spot, 135 yards out, just to prove that the really simple tactics do work. The spot's really got going now, so I'm going to get this one back. Let's hope we can catch another one.
This is a fish that I really wanted to catch. It's called the bullnose common, weighs 39½ pounds, taken on a hybrid stiff hook link, fish KD style. I've been getting all my fish on this session at around 100 yards, 100, 110 yards, and I have been using the boat for putting large quantities of bait in, but for baiting up after a bite, I'm using the Korda Easy Stick, and there is an art to it. Oh, big old bubbles coming up as he comes up in the water. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. There is an art to it. But once you get the hang of it, it's a very, very effective long-range baiting tool for fishing with boilies. So I'm going to get this fella in, hopefully. Oh, he's really going for it now. Big old bubbles coming up, big oily boils on the surface. And we're going to show you how I use the Easy Stick and how Daryl uses it as well, because I use a two-handed technique and Daryl uses one hand. Yes, got him, wicked. 22 pounds of Gigantica common, taken on a mainline bottom bait, fish straight out the bag, over about 6 key bait.
Right, it's really kicking off over the area of bait now. I put about 6 kilos of boilies out last night, mainline cell, and today it's just really gone off. This one, 47½ pounds, taken on a size 6 wide gape, not a supernatural, 3 ounce inline, tail rubber, about 12 inches of tubing, simple as that. Have a look at that, it's a monster. God knows how big it is. It's got to be at least 40 pounds. I'm over the moon with that. Let's take a look at it on the mat. Look at this one, 46 pounds of Gigantica mirror carp, taken on a new end trap hook link, tied to a wide gape on a hybrid leg clip. Proof in the pudding, the rigs are working.
Well, the action is really hotting up at Gigantica, and I thought I would take advantage of playing yet another hard fighting carp to talk to you about a reel that I've been using for quite a few years now. The Basia was originally designed for surf casting in Japan, and to give the Japanese as much help as possible, they've made them as light as humanly possible, with a great big long spool for casting their baits out extreme distances off the surf. And it's basically been adapted for carp fishing by myself and Damien Clark, because it didn't have a line clip on it when it first came from Japan, and also it didn't have a wooden handle, and some of the writing on it was a little bit OTT for carp fishing, so we've calmed that down as well. There are 3 in the range of the Basia now. There's the one I'm using, which is the original one, and then more recently, oh, it's quite a nice carp, there was a black Basia, matte black finish, spare spool in with it as well, so obviously it's slightly more money, but the same weight and ball bearings as this particular reel. And then for all you billionaire boys out there, the Basia came out about a year ago. International superstars such as Damien Clark use those. Personally, I didn't see the need to change because I love these so much. But the long spool and the superb line lay mean they cast further than anything else I've ever used. They're so light they hardly even feel like they're on the rod. And with the quick drag facility, you can go from a free running spool to full clutch on the reel as we are now in just half a turn, and that makes such a difference. So no need for a bait runner. The quick drag has replaced that, and I'm sure is here to stay. So our dumpy little mirror carp, well, he's not so little actually, he's almost ready for netting. So if you're interested in getting more distance and looking absolutely the part on the bank, then it's got to be a Basia. And I know the fish, it's called the Weld. I've seen him in pictures, and now I've got him in the net. Wicked. This one is a true leather carp, not a single scale on him. Looks like he's going to be big from the set of shoulders on him as well. 29.5 pounds, another one that falls to the magic of the Basia.
Well, as you can see, we're into another one. It's taken on an area about 135 yards. I put 6 clear boilies out there last night, and they've moved on to me this morning. Hopefully we can get a few more. Come on, a proper scaly Gigantica mirror. Right, check this one out. 35 pounds of scaly Gigantica mirror carp. I'm going to get the rod back out there and hopefully get a few more like this one.
We are now going to interview the master about rigs. You don't mind, dear, while you're playing one?
No trouble at all, mate.
Right, so I noticed we fished a fair bit before. everything that you use is very, very simplistic.
Yep.
Yeah. So you know, a bit of supernatural.
Yeah.
Wide gape hook, tied
Yep.
on knot and snot style.
Yep.
Very simple. Why do you have it as simple as that?
I'm trying to keep my end tackle as inconspicuous as possible, you know, keep it as minimal, less on it, the less they can find, less to go wrong, you know, keep everything anti-tangle. I'm using a big bottom bait, and that's helping with a soft hook link to keep it away from the lead during flight. And basically the hook size is balanced to the bait size. The rig length is a normal sort of 8 inches, 7 to 8 inches.
Right. Is that what you start with on most places?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Right,
Sort of
okay.
general.
And when do you make it longer and shorter?
Depending on bottom debris. If I'm fishing rock owl gravel, then I'll go down to sort of 6 inches.
Right.
And if it's a little bit leafy and a little bit joddy, then 10 inches. You
Right,
know,
okay.
sort of,
But the rest of the rig stays pretty much the same?
exactly the same, yeah.
Right. And I noticed that you changed from inline leads over to hybrid lead clips.
Yep.
Why was that?
Basically, because I'm using shock leader, the inline wouldn't pass over the knot on the shock leader. So
if the line snapped above the leader knot,
Yeah.
the swivel would pull out the inline,
Yeah.
but it would travel down the leader, and then the knot would bunch up in the end of the
Yeah.
tubing, and then it can't get
so
off.
it would have the leader and the lead.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. But in this case, the lead's coming off the hybrid lead clip.
On the take.
Right, so it's all it's got. If the line did unfortunately snap, all it's got is the slack line and the leader to
Yeah,
get rid of.
yeah.
Right, cool. Which with the barbless hooks, you notice when you get them in the net, the hook's out very quickly, isn't
Yeah,
it?
definitely,
As soon as the slack comes or goes on the fish, then it's gone. And I know you're, for want of a better word, anal about your hook points.
Yep.
How do you choose the ones that are right?
I lay them all down on a white surface, like a pop-up lid's perfect for this.
Right.
Face them all around the same way, and by looking at them compared to the other ones, you can see which ones are better.
Right,
And I'm
okay.
looking for the finer ones.
You can actually see it, can
Yeah,
you?
you can see it.
Right.
Like some are like a church.
Is this the Darryl X-ray vision, or is this just normal?
No, it's normal. It's like a church steeple. Like a really good one is really fine, and a one that's not so fine, that looks stubby, are the ones that I discard.
Right, got you. Okay. And you think that makes a difference to how many bites you get?
I think it's the difference between one pickup and hooked fish and 3 or 4.
Right, okay.
Right, we're getting close now.
Right, I'll get the net. Gotcha.
Lovely.
Good angling, son.
Cheers.
Well done. And the weights, Mr. Peck?
24.5 this one.
Right, a baby.
A baby.
Better get it back out there and get a bigger one.
Let's hope so, eh?
So, follow Mr. Peck's advice and you'll be getting loads of these.
Well, they don't come much better than this, do they? 42 pounds of immaculate Gigantica common, well worth the wait. It's been a slow week for me, and this fella came along on a penultimate night and just couldn't expect anything better than that. Really, really pleased. Got the wind right in my face. It's blowing a bit of a hooligan in here now. 10 pound subline. I'm getting out about 125 yards, Daiwa tournament leader, punching it straight out into the wind, and this fella was out there waiting. Hopefully there's some more out there, but I don't really care too much now. Blown away.
Yet another Gigantica carp, seduced by the smell of the main line. This one taken on the new Grange, but on a special hook bait that I've actually made on the bank. So we're going to get this fella back. Well, another hard fighting Gigantica mirror carp, getting close to the net now. And whether you're going to make your own hook baits or to use them straight out the bag, you can have complete confidence that if you've got feeding fish on you, you're going to catch them on mainline. Come on, you beauty. Come on. Come on. Yes. Got him. Another one on the main line. What an absolute stunner. They don't get much better looking than this one. Just over 24 pounds. Taken on the Grange, as all the fish have been taken on the Grange in this session. Fished at 110 yards with the old faithful infinities. Wicked. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's happened again. We're going to finish the DVD with an absolute monster. Not mine this time, Mr. Hamid's. And I have to say, after a nightmare week for him, he's had 2 snag him up, another one fall off. He's really made it count when it really mattered. And that is a real big one in there. But before that, I'd like to say thank you to all the guys who've been on the DVD. The information they've given has been absolutely tip-top, and I'm sure it'll put a lot more fish on the bank for you. And also thank you to those manufacturers, because without them, the DVD would not be possible. So I'm going to hand you over to the grinning man down there, and he's going to show you a beast.
Well, I'd also like to extend my thanks to my boilie stock for hanging in there so hard all week. That braided needle, without you, I just would never have caught this. Those captor hooks for laying there aimlessly days on end, just waiting to be sucked up. And those cell boilies and that new Grange. Mr. Knight, you've done it again, son. Right, without further ado, let's have a look at this beast. Well, here it is, a fish called single scale at 70 pounds 8 ounces. It smashed my PB by 15 pounds, one of the A team of Gigantica. What a way to finish a DVD, come on!